Well, then
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-da-da.
I,
Theme music. Theme music. Yes.
I know we need.
That's the perfect intro. I don't care. This, I mean
I
business.
won't be dancing. I'll just sit here and laugh because,
Get
like,
a little shimmy.
I mean, I probably could. I got the,
You got titties to shimmy. Okay?
I do the
Shimmy.
fake as shit,
Shimmy
but I
them
got them.
titties. Shimmy them titties. I would shimmy more, but this chair is rickety.
And then titties are heavy.
And these titties is heavy. Oh my God. So freaking heavy. I I don't care what men say like about their balls or whatever. Sorry everybody, we probably should introduce ourselves, but let's just finish this and then I'm ready. But I feel like men don't understand how heavy titties can be. Like they
Mhm.
just be there and you can't get rid of them and they just be in the way. Okay,
Well, yeah,
sorry.
and I mean, I get like, nuts are hanging in between your legs, but really,
These
are
is
they
hanging
weighing
from the top of my
multiple?
body.
Are they weighing multiple pounds?
I can't run because I'll get a fucking black eye. I gotta wear supportive cups to keep them where they need to be or they hang and they hurt.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah. See?
Mine, just sit where God intended before
Mm.
children. But that's because they are
Mm-hmm. Mm.
fake.
Not all of us can be blessed with nice titties, okay?
Okay, listen, okay, first of all, they're not because radiation. And two, it took three, two, two surgeries, and three before the surgeries, I had what you could call ski slopes because I was very bottom heavy, and they
Okay.
did just
I
because I
love the
knew.
sound effect that just happened right now. Can we do that again? Rewind it, bring it back one more time for everybody that if you missed
Um,
it.
was it?
Yes, sister girl. Yes.
Yeah,
Welcome to
maybe.
the podcast, y'all. You just got right into it.
Right. Welcome, guys, to this episode. I'm Court.
I'm Kai.
Oh gosh. Today, I mean, this really, we are talking about titties today.
I know. We started off October talking about the right thing. Titties.
Titties.
Titties. I feel like Eddie Murphy in that movie. Hercules, Hercules. Ooh,
Right.
titties. Titties. I, the Night Professor. Oh my God, why did I not know the name of that movie? I feel like everyone was gonna be like, bitch, you don't remember that movie? I know the movie, I forgot the name. I'm sorry. Mom brain. Hercules,
I'm
Hercules,
definitely
Hercules.
gonna have to put that this is not suitable for children today.
I don't know. No, our podcast is never suitable for
I
children.
know. I do mark that
It's
it's
explicit.
not because there's definitely words in there that the wee ones should not be listening to.
If you don't want your child to have a new vocabulary for middle school, don't listen to this in the car. Wait till they get out. Drop them off at school. Okay? Listen. Or listen while you at work. Because really, you'll be laughing while you doing your job. I listen to our podcast at work, but that's because I'm ready to snap.
Right? I can't because I put an earbud in and I get, oh, what were you listening to?
None of your
You
business.
can actually answer that question. I don't think you can ask me, but don't worry about it. You don't want me to play what I listen to. Because, like, there's a couple people that have radios.
Yeah.
I mean, one plays music from, like, oh god, it's considered oldies, but like 80s, 90s, stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. And then the office that's closest to me, they play like the rock stuff, but the radio versions of things.
Oh
That's not
no.
what's on my phone.
Yeah, my Biggie is cussing. My Tupac is certainly cussing. And every
Yeah.
once in a while, I throw on some Ludacris. And people just know not to come into my office when I'm
When they
listening to
hear
some dope.
Luda.
No. However, though, like on the opposite side of the spectrum, I really do like jazz and classical music. Like, give me a violin quartet, and I am in heaven. So the Bridgerton soundtrack, I just play that loud in my office, and everyone's like, "Kai, your office is such a vibe." I was like, "You should have been here 6 minutes ago." And Ludacris was like, "Move, bitch, get out the way," and that wasn't a vibe. Then I was just yelling at the spreadsheet because it wasn't moving to get out the way.
It wasn't doing what needs to be done.
No. Okay, less about work, more about October. I'm zen.
So I have to drink my water.
Yes, stay hydrated. What you got in your bougie cup? Tell the people.
Um, Lemon water, but I did let the lemon sit because I don't have like a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it in my cup and I did let it sit with the rind in there too long, so it's a little rainy.
Oh,
Um,
sour.
yeah, but um, sour blue raspberry skinny syrup.
Okay. We're almost twinning with our waters today.
Rich. So I do that at least once a day. I won't not with like the lemon water, but I've got like
Hmm.
my little bottle of water, and I'm like, my son feels that there needs to be more, but like those three like quick pumps, it's sour water,
It's so
which
good.
sounds weird because you're like, well, you don't taste the blue raspberry. No, you don't. You don't need to. You're just tasting the sour. So
I make a I take the lemon elderflower skinny syrup and I mix it with the sour apple skinny
Mhm.
syrup. So it's like a sour apple lemonade. I drink that all day. Like all day. Usually my Stanley, I do one Stanley a day, so my 140 ounces, and the rest of the day is just like lemon water or regular water. Today, though, it is cup number two.
What I love is how she has the legit cup and I have the Walmart knockoff.
Okay, I didn't buy this cup. Okay, let's.
I know. Husband saw you admiring it and was like, babe, anything for
Yeah.
you.
And
I had to ask my mother to get me this $5 cup for my birthday a couple of years ago.
but I have a family. I have two families. My family I keep at work, and there's a family here. Um, and we have lots of cups. It's just I had gotten my free Starbucks cup already, and that one was green. And I got it. It was a more manly cup. I got it for my husband so he could have like a more manly like coffee cup.
Oh,
Because I'm trying to convert him into a Starbucks lover.
is he like fighting it or something? Like, what's his deal?
He also likes Dunkin'. I feel
Okay.
like the Dunkin' person marries the Starbucks person, and that's just how it works.
That's
Like,
just the universe.
yeah, it's just too. It's like the person that's always hot marries the person who's always cold, and they fight over the temperature of the house.
Oh, yeah.
That is us.
Hmm.
Um, Only we don't
Or you
fight over
have
the
a
temp.
child that's always hot and
First of
you're
all,
always
I got
cold.
two of these things, okay, and now one of them got the "I'm always cold" vibe from me. They always hot. Talk about ma. Can you put the cold air on in the car? No, no. This is my car.
Uh-huh.
No, you hot. Don't wear your thick ass jacket.
Yep. It's hot in here. Can you turn the heat down? No.
every every freaking time.
Shivering. I'm cold.
Which is why we always take my SUV because it's climate control. So like the kids can have cold air in the back. My husband can have his cold air because I'm a passenger princess. And I can have my hot air and my seat warmer on because
See,
yay.
we've kind of got that in my car too. Although my car is significantly older, so trying to regulate it isn't quite as easy. But my hot ass teenager is still like, it's too hot. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm cold, so don't roll the window down. First
No,
of all,
no.
and second, suck it up, Buttercup. I don't really care. This is my car.
Take off your 14 hoodies. Won't you do that? I,
Right.
I, I honestly can't win though. Like, because everybody in this house is always hot and I'm always cold. But like all year round, there is a fleece blanket in my living room for me. Now, I did get made fun of this summer because it may or may not have had chocolate Santa on it. Um, But when I tell you that when I saw the chocolate Santa blanket last year around the holiday season, I figured I could just use him all year round. And so I did. So we had Christmas in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and September, and now October. And right now it's almost Christmas again, so I can use him.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. I'm always cold. They know me at work as the person that's always cold. 95 degrees outside. I've got a hoodie on, but that's also because they've got the freaking air at like 65.
I
It's
have a
cold.
blanket in my office.
I still have my blanket too. I've whipped it out a couple times this week, and I'm just like,
I have a fleece
it's that time of
fleece
year.
blanket, and I have a portable heater, which I did not purchase. It was given to me
Hmm.
at work because of the way the office regulates heats because of the type of job that I have that I can't talk too much about. But anyway, it it has to be cold in certain parts of the building on purpose. And so it just transpires through the rest of the building. And then my little ass is freezing. So I got a little heater and a little blanket. And I just, pretend like I have s'mores, like at a campfire.
They gave me a blanket, and one of my coworkers was like, "Well, here you can have this space heater."
I put
Thanks.
that thing right underneath the blanket too. Just all the heat. I know it's a fire hazard. I don't care.
Right? You're like, it's okay. Did you ever watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
No.
So there's this episode where Gina is going at it with Terry, and he's trying to get her, like, he's trying to reduce the electric bill and stuff like that. And she has whatever lights are needed for her plants, and then
Hmm.
because she can't be bested, she's got to be the top dog, even though she's just a receptionist
Hmm.
with these detectives. um she ends up having a space heater. She's got what looks like those big, like, English dresses, like from
Yes.
like back in the day, and there's a heater on underneath it because she was hot or she was cold. And then the dress lights on fire, and Terry asked if she was gonna put it out. But she was trying to win, he was trying to win. And yeah, I was like, I feel that sometimes though. Like, you just want to put the heater underneath and just be like,
Yep. Yeah. No. And it's so funny too because like even like my husband, like when we first got together, like I am a someone who likes silence when they sleep and someone who likes white noise. They
mm-hmm.
also get together. Um,
Yep.
I had the hardest time like sleeping when I would go to his house that he lived in because I had my apartment, and I would hate going over because he would have the fan on full blast. And
Oh, geez.
then his daughter, so my oldest, because she wasn't my daughter technically then, because we weren't married, but my baby, she had her monitor in her room, which had a fan. And so the monitor fan made noise, plus the fan in the room, and I was like, something has to give in this house because there's too much fucking sound. And it's just, and now I've just gotten used to it. I mean, it's been 10 years, but it's just funny because like when I go travel and I get to sleep in a hotel, it is the happiest moment of my life that it is just sheer freaking silence. And I can
Yeah, I'm
crank,
the
and I
white
can crank
noise.
the heat up and just, I love going to Norway. It's my favorite.
You're like, all the blankets, all the
All the
heat.
blankets.
Welcome to my terrarium.
Oh my gosh. Well, and it's so funny too. Like, I don't know if you've ever like traveled to Europe or if anybody's listening's ever traveled to Europe. I learned this is that all of the bathrooms have heated floors. Do you know
Nice.
how amazing it was to take a hot shower with a hot heated floor? When I tell you I sat on the floor in the shower for 20 minutes for no reason, I sure did. It was just like everything was hot. My legs was hot, my booty was hot, my back was hot against the wall and the hot water. Just me like this. What's that commercial with the girls with the shampoo or herbal essence and they were just like, ah, yeah, that was me in the shower, just straight
Like
in
every
ferngully, just happy.
that was every shampoo commercial in like the 90s.
Yes, I'm showing how old I am. I'm a millennial. It's just what it is. Okay, tricks
I
used to
think
be
it's Gen X.
shapes.
I
They're not
think it's
anymore.
I
You
think
say you're
I'm
Gen X? Really? No.
I think so. Let me hold on.
Let me Google.
Yep.
Oh, hold on. I don't even know what to Google here. Okay,
Yeah,
so
Gen X.
hold.
I'm a Gen X.
Oh my
Just barely though.
gosh. Hold on. I'm
The
trying to
last
like,
couple months.
I want a list.
I thought I was a Gen Xer. I thought for sure. Because all those memes and reels that talk about Gen X people just
Yeah.
don't care and to leave them alone.
So the website
Yes.
that I have says the greatest generation was born between 1901 and 1924. Yeah. The silent generation is 1925 to 1945. The baby boomers are
Oh, yep.
1946 to 1964.
That's my parents.
Yeah, that's my mom. Actually, no, my mom is a Gen X. Ah, shit. Okay, sorry. Gen X is 1965 to 1979.
Hmm.
Millennials are 1980 to 1994. Gen Z is 95 to 2012. Do you know how weird it is to go from 1995 to 2012 and know that I lived in two different. Okay, I'm struggling here. And both of my kids are Gen Alphas, 2013 to 2025, because Amelia's 2013, yes, and Mariella's 2018.
But are they really alphas?
No. Hey, Alpha,
Yeah.
well, the little one, she the ringleader in this house. Yeah, she the ringleader. I feel like if Rugrats like was a real thing, my child is Angelica. Not the oldest. The oldest is more like Susie Carmichael because Susie was always like, maybe we shouldn't do this,
Mm.
but also like super like conniving almost because Susie was smart where she was like, we can still do it, but let's do it this way. But
Yeah.
Angelica was just a straight up bully. That's my baby. She Angelica Pickles.
Oh, and it wasn't so much that, or not just that Angelica was a bully. Angelica just gave zero,
None.
none.
I
It
loved
was like this.
Angelica.
This is
And
this is it.
and I am
And she.
Angelica's mom. Now that I think about this, like
Mhm.
always on the phone, always working. Yep, it's coming back to me now. I am Angelica Pickles' mom. Shit. I caused this. This is my fault. Now I need to go get a doll. Cynthia!
Oh my gosh.
Cynthia! Oh, I miss all those
Introduce her to
shows.
Rugrats.
Rugrats are real monsters.
My dad was such a fan of Rugrats, like he would watch it, that his 50th birthday, keep in mind this is 25 years ago, I got him a Rugrats cake.
Yeah!
Yep. Because he loves it. He loved
We
it
had
so much. He would watch it. It was on Nickelodeon. He'd be
we
like,
had the
"Oh,
best childhood.
dude, the Saturday morning cartoons and
That's what I'm like. Kids today don't look forward to waking up at 8 a.m. on a Saturday and parking yourself in front of the TV before your parents woke up because you knew they were going to change the channel because you didn't have six TVs in the house back then, right? Like you had the living room TV and maybe one extra TV, but that wasn't in your room. That was in your parents' room.
Mhm.
And just sitting in front of the TV and you didn't change the channel because all your favorites came on one station.
I
Oh
even
my
remember being in high school and morning cartoons because we had just a tiny like little like box TV
God. Hmm.
that was in the dining room because we had like a cocktail table in there because we didn't have really any room
Hmm.
for anywhere else and we just had this tiny ass little TV and I remember sitting there in the morning eating breakfast watching gargoyles.
Oh my girl, Gargoyles was the shit. And Darkwing Duck first.
Hmm.
Darkwing Ducks. Okay, now I got that. That should be our theme song, is Darkwing Duck, because now I got that stuck in my head. When there's trouble, you call DW. Darkwing. Okay, sorry, done.
Tara sent me a reel and it had I can't remember what it was about, but it had like those cartoons. It had Darkwing Duck. It had Chippendales. Yes. They had um DuckTales.
Woo. Okay. It had to. Wait. First of all, though, you hit that note like whoa, 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 whoa. Back it up. But because I pretended to hit that note, but you actually hit that note.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. First, so no. First of all, y'all, the girl can sing. Okay, not sing because it's different. Sang. I found that out before we started recording. It was the pre-episode before the episode. She was like, "Yeah, I was just singing in the choir." I was like, "What you mean you was singing in the choir?" You hit that note. We're gonna have an episode where you just start singing Christmas carols, and it's gonna happen.
And was offered to be a singer in Buddy's band.
Exactly. Okay, miss. Oh, yeah, I hit the note. It's fine. It's nothing. Mm-hmm.
Well, I brought it up to him because I was like, "Oh, hey, remember that one time when you were like, hey, you should sing in my band?" And he was like, yeah." And I was like, "My kid said I should have taken you up on that offer." I don't even remember what happened to the offer, like how we just never talked. I think I kind of avoided it out of nerves. And he was like, "Yeah, we should go do karaoke again sometime." And I'm like, because he used
Oh,
to be a
okay.
DJ at a couple of the bars that I would hang out at.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because he is an on air radio personality, he always DJ'd and he DJ'd a lot of karaoke things. And so,
If
the man does
you
know,
do
like, he knows
karaoke,
what I do. And I
the
was like,
podcast needs a video. Just someone better record it and tag the podcast, okay? Because I want to see it because I know it can happen. One of my other
I'm
girlfriends said that
tempted
to
to
me
tell my
too.
church that I'll sing for Christmas. I just haven't totally decided if I'm going to do that.
Okay, I know that Christmas is not here yet, but when I tell you that I love Christmas music,
Mm-hmm.
Mariah Carey tells me
I'm
when
not
it's
the Christmas
Christmas.
person you are and
I
that
am.
Mikhail is,
Mm,
but
I love
I do
Christmas.
love me some Christmas music. And my mom and I, so my mom is a soprano just like I am, but she, yes, yes.
Time out. Time out. You didn't say alto. You said soprano.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, we can't be friends.
But hold on, I am getting to an alto part. When my mom, I think she said it was in high school, they didn't have very many altos. And my mom and we do have quite a large range. We can sing, she can sing lower than I can, but we can sing low and we can sing high. She learned Christmas songs in alto. So she'll sit next to me and she'll sing the songs in alto. And I can still carry a tune, but like I'm definitely that person. If I hear it next to me, I just automatically start singing it, and I'm like, no, let's do this. So I always look at her, and I'm like, God doesn't like altos.
All the altos is coming for you, just so you know. Us, we coming for you. I
It's
cannot
only because
sing
like she
high.
starts choking because she's laughing at me. She, there are times she'll do it on purpose just to see how long it takes for me to just be like, we've had this discussion, mother.
The people, I'm speaking for all of us, I need a mom and me singing video.
She does not sing solos. She has to be in the choir with
Okay.
multiple people. She won't do it by
And then I
herself.
need a Christmas choir. Let's go. Sing to me.
I need to get Rowan to do it because when he was like, well, it's different because, I went through puberty and my voice changed. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If
Are you new
you,
here?
right, if you were able to sing and like carry a tune, because I heard him a couple times in the back seat when he was little singing
Mm-hmm.
something, it's like that
Oh.
doesn't change. Like you still have that ability.
You still have
You're
it's
from
the
either.
musicality. Yeah, you can hear it.
But he was I was trying to get him to sing because he was kind of being goofy, and this was the day that he found out that I knew how to sing, and he was like,
Did he make the face like I did?
"No, because I said something about the band, and he was like, why didn't you do it?" And I was like, "Buddy, I don't even know what happened to the offer. Like, I don't know where it went. Like, how we just stopped talking about it." And then he was like, sing something. And I'm like, no, because I don't like singing in front of people either. Especially like my child who's sitting like right there. And I sing things throughout the house. Like I will like hum things or I will like sing the sentence instead of like saying it. Like
Hmm.
I do that. But a lot of times I kind of make it goofy. Like I don't feel like I'm actually
I don't know, that
using.
woohoo was woohooing.
So I sang just a little bit of what he had just played and what I was trying to get him to sing to me, and he was like, "Oh, well that was actually really good." I was like, "No, you do it. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow." That was like a
Look,
week
see,
ago.
your housewife was showing this morning. Okay. All right. Your bougie ass is always showing. And now we out here like, oh, I could carry a tune. I could hit a little notey note.
And I mean, my mom's
Hmm.
side of the family, my grandpa could play 7 instruments. Never took a lesson in his life. He could hear it played, and then he'd play it back.
My
I don't have
brother.
that ability. I did not get that. But I have taught myself how to play an acoustic guitar and how to play the piano. And that's only because I know how to read music. So
I
that's
can play
why.
the clarinet.
Oh, can you?
A little woodwind instrument girl, you know. I was
Mm, I want to
I
be
was
great.
first chair.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
you.
only for a little while. Then I quit band because you know I had to play sports. I had to play some basketballs.
Oh, well. I tried that one year, actually, not even an entire year. And I was like, this sucks. And I started failing all my classes, and I was like, oh, bye, guys.
My
I don't know why I chose My mom even goes, why did you choose basketball? There was volleyball. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why I chose one and not the other because I like volleyball better than
hmm
basketball anyway. But it really didn't matter. I wasn't doing my classwork, and I wouldn't have been doing it if I was on the volleyball team either. So,
my mom played volleyball and she was like all-star American, has all these awards. And so when it came
oh,
to choosing between volleyball or basketball, I definitely did not pick volleyball.
oh, did you not want to be in competition with your mom?
I just knew I was never gonna live up to what she could do, and I feel like I didn't
Oh,
want to like disappoint her. And I mean, now that like I'm an adult and I have my own kids, I know that's not how it works when you're a
right.
mom, but when you're a kid and you know that your mom literally on the wall at your grandmother's house is just like award, 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 all American, all star, blah, 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 blah.
You're just like,
I'm like, well, I ran track. Like, you know, I got nothing. I got
you're
nothing.
like, I'm fast.
Yeah. And so like I don't have the picture. I have to my grandmother before she moved, now she's in the nursing home. Well, you know that. She had this wall and it was the wall of walls. It was everybody's picture when they graduated. And so like the best
Oh,
thing was to get on Nana's wall
oh. Does
because
that mean that she liked you if you got on Nana's wall?
I mean, she loves all of the grandbabies. I like to say I'm the favorite. I always have. She will never tell me I'm the favorite, but studies show.
You
Okay.
like a bitch knows.
Surveys have given answers. No. So like,
Survey
but
says.
right, but everybody makes the wall, but you make it when you graduate, and so like graduating was like a big thing because you're like, which picture do I give to Nana to put on the wall?
Oh, so you got to
And
choose which one?
my mom chose mine. Girl, I'm from a black family. We don't do nothing. Kids don't make no decisions here. I'm an adult. I don't make my own decisions. I'm just, Ma, can I do this? Um,
How can I do this?
because Nana had four of us, or she had
Mhm.
four kids, and then those kids, like it was this perfect wall of all of us, and so I was excited when I made the wall because I was like, I ain't got no cheerleading award or no volleyball award, but a girl graduated.
You're like, at least nobody has to know or be told, but I'm just her favorite anyway.
I graduated from high school, y'all. I made the wall, and I'm the oldest grandbaby, so like I was gonna get on there before everyone else anyway, but I still like to brag. I did it first.
I would do the same thing. I'd just be like, I was there first. Well, you're the oldest. I don't care.
I don't
That's
care.
not why. I'm the reason why everybody else is on here. It was me.
Exactly. I like to pretend that it's cause of me.
She's like, because I'm the greatest.
The sad part is like everyone in my family is smart at their own niche, like which is
Oh, okay.
which is so cool. Like none of us are alike in any way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
Some like my little sister is about to be a nurse. Okay, so that whole side, everyone is a nurse. Let me just not pretend, but like, most of my family all works at the hospital, but like they all have different niches, and it's kind of cool that we all went different ways,
Awesome.
but we all were smart. So yeah. Okay, sorry. Don't talk about my
There
Nana.
you are, the
I
little
love her.
finance lady. Mhm.
Here I am, a little data analyst, finance nerd over here. No one likes numbers in my family but me, which is funny. Like, not a single one. My
They're just
sister
like,
actually was like, "What do you even do for work?" I was like, "I'm a financial planning analyst." And she was like, "Yeah, none of us know what that means." So she just tells people, she's like, "I just tell them that you work for like the Secret Service." I was like, "What? Don't do that." She's like, "Yeah, we tell people like you're an accountant at some fancy place." And that's real straight up life right here. Like I know what everybody else does, but no one knows what I do.
You're like, thanks.
All right, baby sis. Sure. Just government work over here. Just CIA girl. And if I was in the CIA, we would be on this podcast.
Right?
You know
They
the
would say,
government be like, you can't
no.
have no social life. Like the government probably gonna be at my house. We heard you talking about us.
Right?
You
Like,
know, you know, you know, serious snitch. No,
right, I was saying. Alexa's like, hey.
she's like, I heard you. I told the government what you said.
They know.
They know. They know that you know that they know that you know that they know. Yep.
Oh,
Full
shit.
friend. Government coming after. Okay, anyway. I'm sorry. I get like my ADHD is full on today, and I apologize.
That was me at work all last week and probably the week before too. Freaking terrible. So there is a point to this podcast.
Just
See, okay, Elaine was right. We need to just do a get ready with me
freaking love
where we
Elaine.
just talk shit and
Yes. Talk shit and
whatever
hurt
to get
feelings.
ready and then we go, do our thing. You go watch your husband's sweaty calves and
Oh my god, girl.
and and I don't know, wander around the house with a full ass face of makeup. Maybe go to Walmart like I did last
I
week.
mean, today actually I'm going to make not one but two homemade apple pies.
Look at you. Yeah, see, housewife. You try to tell me that this shit was ironic because neither one of us are this.
I'm not a housewife. I work all week long. And then I happen to make great pies. What makes it even more housewife-like is that my daughter and I walked to the apple tree on the farm to pick the apples for said apple pie. I know you hate me right now.
No, it's gonna be a shirt, sweatshirt,
Your housewife is
not
showing.
tumbler. Your housewife is showing.
It is. But to the serious part of October and this podcast, now that we've had 30-ish minutes of the
Bullshit.
bullshit.
Your lip color looks so great.
And so does yours. Oh my God. So do your eyes. But come closer to me though so I can see. Okay. Oh, it's giving. Look at you. Look at you and your little lip color. I mean, you want to tell them the purpose of this lip color and the month?
So the name of this lip color is Kiss for a Cause. It is
Hmm.
Lip Sense. It's by Senegence. I know in the past, I haven't seen, okay, I'm sure there's been an email that's been sent and I just don't check my emails anymore. But I
I haven't seen
know,
it.
okay, I know in the past, they would send out an email to let us know that, a certain amount of proceeds will go to breast cancer research,
Hmm.
with every Kiss with a Cause purchase, and that's actually like why it's this bright pink, why it's called
Yes.
that. I believe Mikkel said that the founder of Synogens had her own breast cancer story, and so that's kind of like how all of that came along. I am wearing a shirt, hashtag light up MBC. MBC stands for metastatic breast cancer. If you are watching this on YouTube, then you can see the ribbon. If you're listening to this on Spotify, head over to YouTube so you can see the ribbon.
Mm-hmm.
It's a ribbon like all the other ribbons, but it has 3 colors. And I actually am wearing them today. So I do have green, teal, and pink on. But each of them has a meaning. I wrote it down because I'm terrible at remembering things.
It's called doing your journalistic research. Can't
Yes.
speak.
Green symbolizes the triumph of life over death, renewal, hope, and immortality. Teal represents healing and spirituality. And pink signifies where the cancer originated, so breast cancer. So that's why they have their own special little ribbon. The reason we are talking a little bit more about metastatic breast cancer as opposed to just regular breast cancer is because I have been living with MBC for 5.5 years. It's probably been 6 to be quite honest, because I had a lump in not like just below my armpit that had grown within a couple months of my first surgery, and I just figured it was the pick that was put into my lymph node because they mark your lymph nodes when they test them. I just figured it was that, and it had fallen out, so I never worried about it. So I most likely have actually been living with stage 4 for 6 years as opposed to 5.5. My cancer journey started back in 2018. Well, 2017 I found a lump and I ignored it for months. But back when I was 21 or 22, I had found a lump in my right breast. My right breast seems to be my problem child. This bitch has just been a freaking issue.
I like how you just called her the problem child.
I mean, she has been. I had a lump removed. You might actually still be able to see the scar. And it just was a bunch of fatty tissue. So when I had another lump that was kind of on the bottom side of my right breast again, I just figured it was the same thing because I was like, we've been here before,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Don't have a history of breast cancer in the family. Why? I'm just not going to worry about it. Then several months later, it finally started to become a little painful.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it had started to grow a little bit. And when I would lay on my side, because I had mommy boobies, if you're a mom, you will understand what that statement means.
Mm-hmm.
You could actually see the lump. It wasn't just feeling it. So I decided to make an appointment, and I went in. I needed to have my, yearly physical done. I needed to have my IUD removed. It was everything. And I was like, well, since all this stuff needs to be done, let me go. And the doctor that did it, she was like, based on its size, I'm just a little concerned. Like, it feels like it is just a little too big to just be fatty tissue. So I'm going to get you set up with an ultrasound and a mammogram. And I'm like, oh, great. Okay, cool. Yay. Freaking awesome. I went in, that was in December. They got me an appointment, January. I'm trying to wait, actually. Yeah, it was January. It was almost right after the new year. I went in for my mammogram and my ultrasound. And with this appointment, they will tell you right away what they think is going on. And that was on a Friday. I was starting a new job on Monday. They wanted me to come in and have a biopsy done on Monday. And I was like, I can't. Like, I'm starting a new job. I will be in Lansing for 2 days. Maybe it was 1 day. What did I get told? I, at least I knew I was in Lansing that first day, and the lady was like, "You need to have this biopsy because you are at a, I can't even remember the acronym
Hmm.
in the level." She goes, "And that means it's cancer unless we can prove otherwise.
Oh
You
my
need to
goodness.
have this biopsy." And she said the reason why they were almost certain is because of the size and the shape.
Hmm.
Because it wasn't just like a round. It had wings and legs and arms. Um, so I was like, well, do you have a letter that I can give to my HR person? Like I was such an asshat about it, but I just didn't want to deal with it. I'm like, can we just cut it
Fight or
out?
flight mode.
Yeah, and it was like, just cut it out. Like, why are we even worried about it? So
Hmm.
she gave me a letter. I gave it to my HR person on my first day of my new job. And I mean, luckily she was a woman. They were very family oriented
Hmm.
anyway. It was like, okay, take the day. Like, I'm like, no, 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 no. It's not, the biopsy isn't until later in the day, so I'll come in. I'll work a half day. Like, I'll still
Hmm.
work. And she was like, all right, fine, whatever. So I actually, it was on a Tuesday because it was 2 days before I heard anything. So I went in on Tuesday. I had the biopsy done. I don't remember if that day they biopsied lymph nodes or not, but they did biopsy that. And Tuesday or Thursday, I was called and I was told that I had stage 2 invasive ductal breast cancer.
Oh my
And
gosh.
what that is, and the reason why it was only stage 2, is because it started in a duct in one of the milk ducts, but it had spread past that and was in breast tissue. So that's why it was stage 2. It was not just in the confined
Hmm.
area of that milk duct. So I was like, okay, well, what do we do? I can't even begin to tell you how many biopsies I had because they kept finding irregularities. I
Hmm.
had at least 2 MRIs, and this was all like within a month time span. I had biopsy after biopsy. I had a couple MRIs. I had to have an MRI biopsy because there were spots that it was too hard to get to. I had one directly behind my nipple. I had just a couple random spots. And so we did those biopsies. They biopsied a lymph node or two. No, just the one. And in the MRI, they found another tumor. So at that point, I had 2 tumors that were cancerous. The other ones were benign. The
I can't imagine being young and having all of that information just thrown at me and trying to comprehend all the new acronyms, all the terminology, and what that even means. Like, am I going to be okay? Can you take it out? Is it going to be fixed? And why does it keep happening? Like, I, sorry, I just am over, like, I'm overwhelmed over here. Just, you're dropping these words and stage
I
twos
know.
and
I
this,
was
and I'm just,
also living here in Michigan by myself. At that time, my family, including my son, were still in Arizona.
I can't imagine.
I wanted to do it by myself though. I actually, the day that I had my surgery, I didn't tell my mom until 10 o'clock at night the night before because I just didn't want her up here. Yeah. Yep. I just wanted
You,
to do it all by myself. But like, the one, at least the one tumor, like we have the big one and then this other one, it was directly behind it. So it was all in the same area, but I definitely had multiple tumors. The day that I had my surgery, I had to go in for a procedure because I basically had to put a fishing wire in my breast
oh no. Mm-mm.
because the one tumor was so small you couldn't find it on ultrasound. You could only find it via MRI because they tried multiple times to find it using an ultrasound and they couldn't.
Hmm.
So they're like, more than likely, yes, this is going to be in the area that they take out because not only do they take out the tumor, they do take out surrounding tissue because they want you to have clean margins.
Hmm.
And they were like, more than likely, yes, this would still get taken out, but we want to make sure that she doesn't miss it. So we're going to have to. I had a wire put into my breast and it was taped to my side. And that was at one location. And I had to go to a completely different location to have the surgery.
Oh my God. So you're just out here with this wire, just in it to win it over here.
Yep. Yep. Taped to my side. So I went in, I had the surgery. They actually ended up removing a little over a quarter of the lower part of my right breast to be able to
Mm-hmm.
get all the tissue. Came back. I didn't need chemo. My numbers were great. They still only say that it was stage 2, but it had started to go into my lymph nodes because out of the 4 that they took out, there
Mm-hmm.
was one that started to show signs of cancer in it. But I'm guessing the percentage technically wasn't high enough for them to
Mm-hmm.
say it was stage 3, but that tells me it was on its way, or
Right.
at least was stage 3, just might have been really low case. Um, and so I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm not going to take any medication because you guys said you got it out. I don't want to stunt anything. When you're a woman and you're told that you can't have kids,
Mm-hmm.
it does a lot to you.
Mm-hmm.
When you've had a part of your body that defines you as a woman
Mm-hmm.
cut apart, like it
Mm-hmm.
really just, it does mess with you. And so I was like, I'm out, I'm done, I don't need radiation. I don't need chemo. I'm not going to worry about these meds that I'm supposed to be on, which is actually what I'm on right now forever. I just was like, I'm done. And I needed to do a 6-month MRI. I didn't have insurance. I wasn't trying to get it. Like, I didn't even try to get Medicaid because I really wasn't even working. So I
Mm-hmm.
would have qualified. I was like, it's fine, whatever. By then, I had already had that little dot that was in
Mm-hmm.
my armpit, but I was like, it's fine, it's whatever. Decided to go in for my year checkup. I had Medicaid again, and I was like, well, we might as well just go and just have them, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, my right breast, there was a spot above the incision that I figured was just scar tissue.
Right.
It had gotten a little bigger. It was kind of hard, but like I said, it was literally right above that scar. So why wouldn't I think it was scar tissue? Went in, the lady, my nurse practitioner Kim, she has been phenomenal. She's been a part of my case since the very first time. Like I met her before, or well, during the whole process when it was stage 2.
Mm-hmm.
So like she remembered me by a few of the things that like I had talked to her about before I'd had that surgery. So like she remembered who I was, but she very mom like kept things very cool. She did her exam and she was like, based on your history, let's just go ahead and do another MRI, another ultrasound, and
Mm-hmm.
just biopsy that spot. Let's just make sure. Like, okay, it makes sense. Like, I get that. Like, we need to do
Yeah. You
all
gotta do
of
all
that.
the, you have to dot your I's, cross your T's.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, well, whatever. So then we did all that. I went back in, and she was like, I don't know how to tell you this, but the cancer's back. And we don't know how progressed it is because by that time they'd also kind of like changed how they categorized
Mm-hmm.
cancer, and she was putting me at a stage 1 even though it wasn't just confined to the original spot, it wasn't just confined to
Mm-hmm.
a milk tumor. But I was like, whatever, y'all do you, it's fine. To me that's stage 2 because it's in the breast tissue, but
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But she said, I want to do a PET scan. And what this PET scan was going to do, I was going to have different contrast dyes. I
Mm-hmm.
had to ingest one. One got injected. Those had to sit and circulate through my system for like an hour. And then you
Mm-hmm.
go in and you actually have one pumped through your IV while you're
Mm-hmm.
in the procedure. And we did that. What that contrast dye does is it reacts to cancer and it glows.
Mm-hmm.
So that way they know where it is in other areas. And she said that which she had a feeling, she just wasn't gonna, she didn't want to tell me because she didn't want
Right.
to worry me,
Mm-hmm.
that my right breast was just full of tumors. And what I thought was scar tissue was an incredibly large one too. But that's also when we found that it had spread to the head of my femur. And that was when I was diagnosed with stage 4 at the age of 39. Um, We did the treatment that was needed because our goal was to get that tumor reduced enough so that way I could do a mastectomy, a double mastectomy. So
Mm-hmm.
actually, both of my breasts are fake, but also have enough skin, enough tissue to
Right.
be able to do reconstruction and
To rebuild
have.
them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we needed to get that tumor down. It surprisingly didn't take as long as they had expected. She really expected it to take quite a bit of time. I started going on the worst medication. Oof. Trying to send my body into menopause long before it was ready.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, not good. I started taking that medication March. I believe it was March. And by the first part of August, everything was good to go to have the surgery. August 27th in 2019 is when I had my double mastectomy. My numbers were still really good that I did not need to do chemo. They had gotten all of the cancer. It was still all on the right side. There was nothing wrong with the left breast.
That's why you've been calling it your problem child.
Yes, yep. But they did find cancer cells very close to my nipple, which, if we remember the year before, there was a benign area. Well, now it was cancerous. And there was a spot that was right by my chest wall. Like they couldn't take any more out. So I ended up having to have 25 sessions of radiation.
Oh my.
Yes. And when you have radiation, unless it's, because I have had radiation 2 other times, if it's kind of like your normal dosage,
Mm-hmm.
not a high intense dosage, you have radiation daily, Monday through Friday. So I had 5.5 weeks because I started just before Christmas. So I went in Christmas Eve and had it, but didn't have it on Christmas Day. Went in New Year's Eve, had it, had New Year's Day off. I missed one other day because I had a job interview because I was trying to get a new job.
Mm-hmm.
So it ended up being 5.5 weeks, but it was Monday through Friday that I was there having radiation done. It's not fun. I had severe second degree burns
Mm-hmm.
because it's just what it does. It's
Right.
not great. They did try to get me to take a break, and I was like, mm-mm. First of all, I don't want to see you hoes ever again. I will not ever, ever want to come back here. So we're just gonna power through it
Right.
and deal with it. And I did see my radiation oncologist every week. I think it was like Mondays was our day. So he and the nurse saw how bad it was getting. So
Mm-hmm.
as soon as I was done, they were ordering me Silvadene so I could get that and
Mm-hmm.
just take care of it. Because when I tell you I had to burn, again, if you are listening to this on Spotify, go to YouTube. So you can get the full concept of this. I had a burns from up here
Mm-hmm.
down all the way under to like kind of like the back because I also had lymph nodes behind my shoulder
Oh
blade
my goodness.
that they needed to radiate as well. So I was radiated all the way around, like the whole half of me. So hold on, guys, I get to let a kitty in because it's Odin. How'd I know? So I got Odin as my emotional support pet.
Odin was like, look, I hear you talking and you need me.
Yes, he knows. I got him shortly after the stage 4 diagnosis because I was like, I live by myself and I just need a little fuzzy butt. And he knows. He's my good boy. But yeah, so that's basically my cancer story. The biggest thing I guess I've taken from this, so I follow Light Up NBC on Facebook and also Metavivor.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I want to start? One thing that like I've heard from people is when it comes to treatment, when you are stage 4, you will never not be doing treatment,
Hmm.
because the medication sucks, and a lot of times it's even worse than like what you have to deal with when you're living with cancer. And I've had people be like, "Oh, well, okay, well that's fine, but I mean, it's not forever, right?" No, it is. I take this medication until it no longer works, and then I have to go on something stronger.
Hmm.
And I take that until it no longer works, and then I do something stronger. So like, it's not like, oh well, I'll take this for a couple of years and I'll be done. Like I can power through. It's it's forever. Um, Another thing, I had to save this because this is what is one of the things that is really just like super astonishing to me. Um, Less than 5% of U.S. breast cancer research funds are allotted to metastatic breast cancer. Less than 5%. Less than 5. All of the everything else, 95% plus, is going through to stages 1 through 3,
Hmm.
and it feels a lot like, oh well, they're terminal anyway. They're gonna die from it anyway. Like,
Right, but
why?
that's not how it should be.
No, and I agree because so like I've got NBC facts. This is
Hmm.
from Metavivor. Yearly, I share things throughout the entire month. So if you're friends with me on Facebook, it's that month.
Hmm.
It's coming. Um, 98% of all breast cancer deaths, though, are from metastatic breast cancer, and I don't understand why we just don't. I swear I saved something else too. Um, why it's just not something that we're out here. In,
What's what's one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self if you could,
um
or advice to anybody who may have fears of going to the doctor to get checked out for fear of possibly having breast cancer? I know my other mom, because we talked in a different podcast where I have two. So not the mom that lives near me. My Long Island mom had a double mastectomy because she also had breast cancer.
mhm.
And so, we dealt through all of that and radiation and hair loss, and chemo for her. And I know,
My medication has caused hair loss too.
yeah.
That
So
sucks.
going through that. So what advice would you give to somebody who may be like, ooh, I think I feel something here, but I don't want to go get
um
it checked out. Like what would you tell them to do?
I mean, you just kind of have to do it anyway. Would I go back and get tested earlier? To be honest, I really don't know. I can't say that I would, but I also can't say that I wouldn't.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm totally the worst person to ask, because the only reason I say this is because my mom and even Kim, my nurse practitioner,
Hmm.
have had bigger reactions to this than what I have had. My mom
Hmm.
cried. I didn't want to tell my mom about it because I just didn't want her to have to go through it.
Hmm.
My literal response was, "That sounds about right. That's my luck." I haven't cried over being diagnosed with stage 4. It hasn't made me extra depressed. It
Hmm.
hasn't like brought up my anxiety. Yes, there are times where it's like, oh gosh, like I'm not gonna see, my son, really grow up. I'm not gonna see my grandkids grow up. When I was diagnosed 5.5 years ago, I was given 10 to 20 years is like kind of like average for those living with metastatic breast cancer. Luckily, right now my cancer is in my bone. I've got it in 2 spots, so it did spread a couple years ago. And if it stays in the bone, that's the easiest one to manage,
Hmm.
which also means my longevity can, bless you,
Thank you.
is longer.
Hmm.
So, and I mean, new medications are continually
Hmm.
coming out, so it is entirely possible that I will be here longer than the 10 to 20 years. But let's think about it realistically. I might not be. So like I've never let it get to me. I
Hmm.
don't. Because the way I look at it is it's what the hell am I gonna do about it now? It is what it is.
Hmm.
It's already moved. This is what's going to kill me. I can't dwell on it. I can't let it just sit there and
Hmm.
fester and let it like drag me down. I have to just keep living life and keep doing what I want to do. So that, I guess that's probably the biggest thing is like, okay, if you're going to wait to go get tested, then, you wait to go get tested. It is what it is, but you can't let it get to you. You can't, it's not going to change. Your story is not
Mm-hmm.
going to be any different. You will have stage 4 cancer. Just roll with the punches, but advocate for yourself. I
Yes.
refused to go on medication that I was originally on because it was too strong. It was too awful. I absolutely hated it. And once it spread, I was told that I had no choice. I had to go on medication. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
well, then fine. What are my options that are less intense than this bullshit that I was already on?
Mm-hmm.
So advocating for yourself from the get go. Um, when I was first going through it with the first diagnosis, I don't know if they just got used to me or if they had it in my chart, but I had started to tell
Girl, they
nurses
put
and
it in your chart.
they probably did. I told them, I was like, I don't want it sugar coated. I don't want you to beat around the bush. I
Mm-hmm.
need you to tell me everything. What you're looking for, why you're looking for it, what the statistics are, what's going to happen if it's this, what's going to happen if it's this. Like I understand that like every case is different, so they did figure that part out. I was like, but I need to know best case and worst case.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I was even with the stage 4 diagnosis. Best case, worst case. Oh hey, remember how I said my my
Mm-hmm.
monitor might fall? I think I touched it. So advocate, ask all the questions. I
Yeah.
mean, my dad went in for a triple bypass, and my mom was like, "I need you to be here for the first few days because I don't know what to ask. You know what to ask. I have no idea what's going on with the heart, but I also know what to listen for,
Right.
and the things that do need to be asked.
Mm-hmm.
So advocate, ask all the questions. Don't let somebody tell you how your treatment is going to go and what you need to do. I have
Yes.
fired an
Preach that.
oncologist. I had an oncologist who just I don't know if she was territorial or what, but I had to switch to her because my original oncologist went to just straight surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So I could no longer go to her because she couldn't prescribe the medication. So I still went to see the nurse practitioner, still would go see my girl Kim
Mm-hmm.
in that office because one, she's my security blanket. Two, she's been on this ride with me since
Mm-hmm.
2018. I'm going to see the person that I am comfortable with. I
Exactly.
don't,
Yes.
yeah, I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this oncologist did not like it. She would make snide remarks.
Oh, no, ma'am.
Oh yeah, she would get like super cocky, and then finally, it was my understanding that she had sent a message to the nurse practitioner about the fact that I was still going to see her. Yes, ma'am, I am going to see her because I like her. I like my time when I go in and see her. She doesn't bullshit me. She
Mm-hmm.
tells me how it is, and if I'm concerned about something, I ask her.
Mm-hmm.
Again, she's been on this ride with me since 2018. So when I found out that like she was starting to just make this a huge problem, I called and I said, I absolutely have zero desire to ever be seen by
Mm-hmm.
this physician again or anybody in your office because this is the same office that when I was diagnosed the first time, the gentleman, the oncologist, talked to my guy friend that went with me for support, used sports analogies, yeah, and then told me that even if my numbers were good, I really just needed to have chemo anyway.
But that right there. That, so first, okay, see, previous jobs are coming out. I need to.
So, well, when I found out, I had to go back to that place because that's the
Mm-hmm.
only, the hospital that I was going through didn't have an oncology team for breast cancer yet.
Mm-hmm.
It only took less than a year and they did have one, so like I've been able to go back to them. But I was like, do not give me him at all.
First of all, why
Absolutely
was
not.
he speaking to the male friend that you brought about your diagnosis? It's not like you were incompetent, you were unconscious, you were loopy, maybe you
Because
were
this guy was old.
depressed person. You know what I mean? Like, I know people get emotional sometimes. You're like, I'm trying, can I? They usually ask, is it okay to explain this to the person that's with you because I can see that you're upset right now. I want to make sure you get the information that you need. under no circumstance should he be using sports analogies to the male in the room who's not your partner,
Hmm.
even if they were your partner. I mean, I know my husband, because he would advocate for me for anything, would be like, I don't know why you telling me, tell her.
Well, it was funny because after he left, I looked at my buddy and I was like, was he just talking like only to you? And he was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know if that was just me. I thought I was just like imagining it. He goes, that's why. And he did. Like, I watched him do it. He actually like leaned in and was like, oh, okay. Because my buddy is an actor. He's also a director, producer, and a writer. So he just went into like this full on like
He's
acting
like,
mode. And he was
tell me
like,
more.
wow, okay. Like, we were laughing so hard. We sounded like hyenas. I'm sure of it. And I know that they heard us outside the door, but like, it was a running joke for the longest time between the two of us because I was like, oh, so he really was just talking to you. And this was an older gentleman,
Yeah.
like not my buddy, the doctor, an older
Hmm.
gentleman. And I was like, oh, are we of the generation where we feel that we can't talk to the woman about her own issue? We have to talk to the man.
We
So
will have
no.
we need to have a podcast about that because I have some things to say about being in rooms where things need to be directed to me, that they were directed
Mhm.
towards the male figures in the room. But
Oh, so
that's another podcast. But what
oh,
I'm
and
taking from you though is
here's the funny thing about this too. So I've had radiation two other times,
mhm,
and I think it was the second time because no, it was this third time because we were really trying to. No, it was the second time. Sorry, we were. I wanted to try to knock it out before having to go like on
mhm,
medication,
mhm.
and so I was talking about. Oh no, it was actually the third time. That's right, because the guy that did my radiation the first time, he was like, I don't ever want to see you here again. I was like, bro, I don't want to see you either. And he's found me both other times that I've gone in. He's like, what are we doing? Well, I was talking to him and another person about this particular physician oncologist, and they both knew exactly who I was talking about.
Because they've had other patients advocate for themselves to say the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I was like, why is this man still employed by this company? Like, why? Why are you?
I say that about a lot of people I see at day jobs, but that's me being petty Betty. So, but what I'm taking from you though is that educate yourself, advocate for
Mm.
yourself. It's okay if you don't like
Yep.
your doctor, say something so that you're not
Yep.
uncomfortable, and then
Yep.
ask the difficult questions and make sure
Yep.
that you fully understand, and then also to just stay positive because
Mhm.
that's how you are. You're like, I knew this was going to happen. This is what they said. I can't change it, so I'm going to live my life to the best of my
Mhm.
ability and still
Yep.
go on and do the things that I love to do. That's what I'm hearing you say. You can tell me, no, Kai, you summarized that incorrectly, bitch. Start the fuck over.
No, that I mean that is basically it. That's what I even told my parents. Like I said, my dad had a
Mm-hmm.
triple bypass, and he's been having heart issues and this and that. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, he was in the hospital for 2.5 months or whatever, paralyzed. He had Guillain-Barré syndrome, and so like the whole time.
Everybody pray for dad.
No, he's been fine. He's been out since just before
Oh,
Memorial Day.
okay. Just
He went in just before St. Patty's Day, but I mean medically induced coma because he literally almost died to the point where now my dad goes, I almost died, you know.
that's
Richard.
come at Thanksgiving. I want to be thankful because I almost died, you know.
Oh no, I can almost guarantee. He tells everybody, I almost died, you know. My mom's
See,
like, Richard, knock it
it's gonna
off.
happen. I also can't wait for Thanksgiving for other reasons. Sorry. Mm.
No, but I told as he was going through all of this stuff, the thing that I kept telling my parents, advocate.
Mm-hmm.
You have to advocate for dad because dad is knocked out.
Right,
You have
exactly.
to ask the questions. If you literally do not understand what they are saying,
Ask
ask
again.
them to dummy it down more. And if you still do not understand, then you need to have them call me. I may not understand, but I will at least understand it better. So then that way I can tell you what's happening. She's like, yeah, but you're at work. I don't give a shit. They need to call me. If at any point you do not know what the hell they are talking about and they are not either
Mm-hmm.
able to make it so you understand it or willing, to say it so you understand it, then you shut them up right there and you give them my phone number and they call me. So you like absolutely 100% advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to like your doctor, or well, you do have to like your doctor, and if you don't,
Get a new one.
ask them for another one. And if you don't like the whole ass entire office,
Get a new office.
look, yeah, look for something else. You if you don't want to ask the difficult questions, ask them to tell you the difficult answers.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just really don't know what questions you need to ask.
Hmm.
So just have them word vomit all over you.
Hmm.
And then call back when you're like, okay, wait, you said this. Does it mean this? Does it mean that?
Right.
Or I really don't understand what it means. Because it is going to be a lot to digest. It
And
really,
I
it is.
and I feel like there's a lot of new. I mean, I used to give this training when I worked at our hospital in town here. I was the patient advocate. So if they didn't understand something, they would send me to the room like, "Hey, Kai, what do they need?" And most of the
Mhm.
time, I just want to talk to somebody that's not the doctor. But we used
Right.
to do trainings to help the doctors and the nurses. You have to speak to people at the level that they understand. You can't be
Mhm.
speaking with your PhD to
Yeah.
to the older woman who didn't finish school because in her time her job was to stay home and take care of kids, so she only has a fourth
Mhm.
grade education level. You can't be spitting out 50 $80 words to
Yep.
her, right? Like,
Right.
I don't understand your 50 $80 words at this point because you out here using acronyms that I can't even Google fast enough. Like,
Hmm.
so to me,
You have
when
to understand who your patient is.
exactly, and that is the thing. I will say that in having a baby. um I asked all the weird, freaky deaky questions to the doctors because I was like, look, okay, first of all, I've never had a baby before. I don't know what
Hmm.
you're doing. Why are you even going into this area? What is that tube supposed to do? And
Hmm.
is it gonna hurt? And if it does hurt, can I get some pain meds because I have a low pain tolerance? Like, but this was me, and I will honestly say my husband is very smart. So he knew a lot of things that I did not know just because like I never wanted to have children, so I never thought to do research on how to breastfeed or any of those things. And so
Hmm.
like thankfully I worked at the hospital, the director of quality, I knew her. And I was like, "Can you come show me how to do this?" Because I didn't want you can call the phone number and the lactation consultant comes over. I don't want this stranger in my house, first of all, with my new baby that I don't even know if I like yet, because like
Right.
she won't sleep. I don't know how to get her to latch properly. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm nervous, I'm crying, and I'm upset. And so having a friend
Hmm.
to be like, "Okay, you're fine. This is normal." What, bitch? This is normal? Looking like this is normal?
Right.
But
Well,
but
see, and that's
asking
how
those
he was for
questions.
me. Hmm.
And
And
and I
that's
and I
that's
love
what he
that
was for
though.
me. That's what I was like. Ugh. Oh, sorry, I got hair in my mouth.
Mhm. You're like, let me just add some gloss with my smudge proof lip color. Ow. It's my favorite party trick to do. It's my favorite party trick. People are like, "Oh, you're gonna drink out of that white coffee cup?" Yes, I fucking am. Well, thank you for sharing your story because I learned so much. Like, I just had my first mammogram a couple months ago. And that was
Mhm.
awkward, by the way, the machine, and having this random woman just come out my goodies. Because not very many people have seen
Mhm.
my goodies in my lifetime at this point, besides like my husband, and the last person that saw them before him was the lactation girl, and their director of quality that came over
Yeah.
to help me nurse. Like, at that point, and when you're nursing, everyone saw a side boob, okay? But
Oh yeah. When you're in the
but
hospital, it's just like,
everyone's there. They don't, and no, and nobody's like, "Oh, your titties out? It's fine. Here's your dinner. You see my nipple?" Anyway, um,
yeah,
but
yeah.
but yeah. So just that, and so but getting a mammogram for me was very like I was very emotional because my other mom
Mhm.
had breast cancer, my grandmother had cancer, and so it's just freaking out about going and going and knowing that I have to go and get checked out to make sure that
And
I'm
you the whole
okay.
time was going, just relax.
Just Kai, just fuck it. Get your titty in the machine. First of all, that machine needs to be cited for sexual harassment. Okay, and in you saying advocate for yourself, it's so funny because I went in very nervous, and the woman. was so kind to me, like, this is your first time. And I was like, oh, how can you tell? But even she was like, she just went in and was like, here's your boob. I'm putting it over here and turn this way and lift your arm up and turn sideways. And then she clamped it in the thing. And I was like, she's like, you're going to feel some pressure, honey, but it's okay. We want to make sure we get the right images to make sure that you're all right later. And her saying that made it okay. But I think had she not been welcoming and making me feel comfortable, I would have had to be like, nah, send someone else in here because you touching me, and I like, and her hands were cold, and I was like, oh, anyway. But I love that you say to advocate for
If I was
yourself
there, I would have been
because
something like, just put the tea in the machine.
I know. I feel like I should have just called you to like talk me through this. But yes, going to get checked is the scariest thing, but I hear you saying go get checked and advocate for yourself when you get there and ask the questions that you need to ask. And I was in the room asking the questions like, why do we have to turn this way? And why are you squishing it like this? And she's like, and she showed me the picture and she was like, this is what your boob looks like on the inside. And I was like, it looks like an octopus. And she was like, yeah, they all do.
Yeah.
I was like, we really all are all the same
Yep.
on the inside, like, and she, she explained everything to me. She's like, oh, your breasts are very dense. I was like, first of all, dense to me means something different. Like, are we baking? What is happening? And she fully explained it to me, like what it means to have, a dense breast and that, I might have to come back for another mammogram because they want to double check because of how dense it was. I didn't have to go back, but had I not asked that question, I literally would have been on WebMD and probably diagnosed myself. Uh,
Well,
but
WebMD,
see,
if
I
you go
love
on
our
there,
meaningful
you and
talks.
everyone else is dying. You're all dying.
I can't go on
You
Web.
gonna leave,
As a
Freya?
new mom, I blocked WebMD from my phone as a new mom, and it's so funny to think like because I wasn't a new mom because I had Amelia, right? But Amelia was 18 months when I met her, so for Mariella's first 18 months, I didn't know what I was doing because it was new
Uh-huh.
for me. Once she hit 2, I was like, I already did this. This shit's a piece of cake. And then I learned that no two kids are the same. Um, and so that's why she's
But
Angelica
still.
Pickles. That's why she's Angelica. And I am Angelica's mom. That's it.
Eh.
Only I don't think Angelica's mom cooked like I do though. So maybe I got a little bit of, Dee Dee. I don't know,
She
maybe.
probably just ordered food.
I wish I could
I
order
feel like
food, but we
Tommy's
live in the
mom is
middle of
the one that
nowhere,
made the
girl.
food. Oh, so you have
Tommy's
to cook.
mom. I like Tommy's mom. And why was Grandpa always sleep with all the kids? Like they didn't think to maybe not leave the kids with that man who had epilepsy. Like Grandpa
Because
would sleep
back
every
then it didn't
episode, talk
matter.
about, oh, how'd you guys get out the back door? I don't know, Grandpa. What you mean,
Well,
how they get
so
out the
Jeremy and
back
I were
door?
watching. We were watching Rookie of the Year. I have to see what year this came out. In 93. So yeah, the year he was born. Anyway, um we were watching it and the kid, gets out of the cast and whatever. So mom's like, "Oh, here's baseball tickets for you and your two friends." And so they hop on a train
Hmm.
and they go wherever Wrigley Field is, and they're just there by themselves. And Jeremy's like, "Man, they really just let kids do whatever they wanted in the '90s." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, they did."
That
That
was the
ended
life.
shortly after 2000.
That was
Right?
the life. That was, I remember like
We got
my
to do all
cousins in we went to New York City, like by ourselves with no cell phones because they didn't exist. We hopped on the train, went to the city,
this.
went shopping, got back on the train, and got back home. And now my cousins were allowed to do this because they lived in Long Island, so they were used to the metro and the train stations. Me being the upstate
Mhm.
New York cousin, that was like, y'all take a train? Like we just drive. What is this train life? Like when I tell you, like me and my family, like we're opposites. Like I'm like, yeah, it takes 45 minutes in the car, and it's an actual 45 minutes. Where for them, 45 minutes could be an hour and a half, could be 6 hours, depending on traffic. So yeah, no, we had the life back then where we could just go be outside and do things. I remember my mom used to drop me off at the mall for like 4 hours and pick me up later.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I remember, like, um, being like little, like elementary school little,
Yeah.
and where our apartment was, we would go behind it because there was a block wall that part of it had come down, so we would just hop the wall,
Mm-hmm.
walk down that street back there, and go to 7-Eleven by
See,
ourselves. Four, five,
just
six, seven.
what a
The
time to
whole
be
mall
alive.
thing. How many times did we all walk to a mall? I was close enough to walk, sort of. It was still like a good couple miles,
Not
but I
me.
walked. And yeah, you just sit there and you roam through. You also remember when you could smoke in malls?
I
There was
remember
like
when other
designated
people
smoking
could smoke.
areas.
Yep, I remember that. I remember you could smoke in the restaurants. What?
Hmm. Hmm.
Crazy. Crazy time.
Right. It was a simpler time.
It's a simpler life back then when you had
Back when I,
your little
back when I didn't
cigarettes.
have bills.
Back when friggin' bread wasn't expensive. Okay? Got me out here messed
Gas
up.
was
A
less than a
dollar
buck.
and some change. Maybe.
That.
I remember like you could get like $10 and it would fill your tank. Remember that? And you and friends were like, get your change, let's just fill the car. Nowadays you get your change, it ain't gonna do nothing to your car. You might be able to get a hot dog at Sam's Club, maybe. With your change.
Right. That $10 is going to get you a little bit of
$10 is gonna
the
get you
gas.
half a slice of pizza and maybe a drink if you're lucky. Cannot. Now I'm gonna reminisce about that. But it is almost time for me to go watch that sweaty husband of mine play soccer.
The calves.
I'm telling you, that man, he's so cute. His little bow-legged self.
Hopefully, hopefully we got to discuss the dates with holidays coming up. But if we can do our girl talk and our
I
holiday
mean,
looks
I'm down to
and our
talk
little
and cook
mechanical.
Thanksgiving dinner. Twice baked garlic mashed potatoes, girl, some homemade mac and cheese with a bechamel, you know, a little apple pie, a little peach cobbler, a little sweet potato pie, a little deep fried turkey. What?
Um, what was it like 13, 12 and a half, 13 hours to get to your house?
I think so, yeah. I have plenty of food.
Okay.
Come on over.
Okay.
We even set out the nice plates.
Oh.
I do. I have
I
Blue
think I was
Widow
telling
chili.
Ro one time that you cook all the time, and I'm just like, I'll be there. And he kind of said something. I was like, no, nobody. Like she makes like the good real food.
The good real food. Actually, my coworkers really did love the mini honey cornbread muffins I brought in to them the other week.
Did you guys see that? Were you on our Instagram? Did you see the stories where she talked about that? Because if you didn't,
My
you
mini
freaking
honey
missed
cornbread
out.
muffins. I will post a
And the fact
picture
that your
of
double was
them.
like, I don't want to post.
I literally sat there and iced each of those ghost faces. Okay, my hand was hurting from squeezing. And she was like, I want an orange one. I made you a ghost. Ungrateful
Right? But
heathen.
you won't take the toast. So ungrateful.
So ungrateful. Like, I made you a ghost. And you just want the orange one that I made for my coworkers. Like, they didn't get no effort. That's a lie. They were
She just
orange and
wants that
green.
basic one.
She's so basic. I wonder who her mama is. It ain't me.
Right. Jeez, where'd she get that from?
I don't know. Her father. It ain't for me. Glad I've been like, you made me a ghost, mommy? Oh my god, look how cute.
That's that white in her that's showing.
Oh my god. That almost went across the room. Across the room. The whole water just. That's her daddy. Yeah. My poor baby. It's not her
Poor
fault.
baby.
My poor baby. My poor baby. Just, I try.
So
I'm
just so you
trying.
guys know too, this is the feral, unhinged shit that we say when we're not recording, and here we are, an hour and 22 minutes in.
I know. I just feel like I was like, oh, we got to go out here being we're not supposed to be feral on the podcast. That feral. Remember, we're supposed to be feral together. My poor baby. It's not her fault. She light skinned.
At least she's not rice skinned.
She actually did ask me when she gets to turn brown again. And I'm like, baby girl, you're not ever going to turn brown, baby. You use a perfect mix of mom and dad. That's why you are caramel colored. Yeah, mom, I just want to be brown. Baby, that's not how it works. And
You're like, tan.
it's so cute though, too, because she just like, she has thought this since she was little. And I keep telling her, like, baby, that's not how it works. But my baby
Yeah.
picture that she sees, I was very light and I am very dark. So she doesn't understand, like, well, how come you were light and now you're dark? And
Oh,
and it's because
gotcha.
my newborn photos, all babies come out very pale when they come out because we've been
Yeah.
trapped in water for our whole lives.
Right,
Um,
yeah. That
so
melanin hasn't kicked in yet.
right as soon as the sun hits, it's like poof, like a magic dust of poof, melanin. Just sprinkle that shit. I feel like I need to like make like a cinnamon like sugar like seasoning and just call it like legit just melanin. Just sprinkle that shit on everything. Make it like a sugar scrub.
Yeah.
A patent. That's my idea. Don't nobody take it. It's on the audio. Okay. Don't nobody take my idea and try to run with it 'cause I'll come find you. I said it first. Today's October 6th. And it is 3:06 Eastern Standard Time. I said it first. Just I saw online reading legal stuff that if you the old school ways used to mail the idea to
Oh,
yourself because it was stamped with the
gotcha.
date. But now it's
Gotcha.
podcasts on the interwebs. Stay forever, bitches.
Right?
Look, let me calm down. Make myself a snack. Make myself a snack for soccer.
I know I need to make myself a snack too. I'm hungry.
Good girl, get you something to eat.
I'll make myself a snack for soccer too.
Hey, I just sit on the sidelines and just eat. He runs, I eat.
And you're like,
I should probably play also, but that no, I'm not running.
no, who wants to do that?
I'm not built for
No,
running. These titties is too big. They
no.
don't run. That's my excuse. My titties is big.
Right.
Back to the beginning of the topic. Titties.
Right. Woo! All right. Well, I don't know. Was there anything else that you like wanted to ask, or you think I should talk about, or?
I don't think so.
Oh, I do have to say I have outbeat a statistic because they do say that it's less than 10 or somewhere in that 10% range do not live past 5 years after being
Right.
diagnosed, and here I am.
Yes, bitch. Oh, sorry. Getting excited. Yes.
Woo!
About to go to church. Preach, preacher. Okay. Full ADHD moments. Just.
Right, right. All right, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out with us on this another long
Yes.
podcast. Good
Yes.
Lord. Please get them titties looked at.
Yes. If you're a
Check them
female,
if
go
you.
go get a
Yes.
mammogram. It's October. Get your
Yep.
mammograms.
Even if you're not a big fan of checking yourself, which is fine because that was me, still make sure you're doing your yearly appointments because they check there. If you are of a certain age, look into mammograms, get that done. Just get yourself checked out. So you're not like me and having to check out sooner than what you want to.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, there's that morbid dark humor.
I love it. I love it.
But if you have any questions about anything, or you just want to reach out because you yourself are going through this, or you know somebody that is, as we've always said, and we even did state this in our episode a couple weeks ago, well, actually about a month ago now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out anytime, shoot us a message, comment on anything, and we'll respond.
Yeah.
So, guess that's all.
Yay!
And I guess we'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Do we know? Oh, a couple weeks. We're going to be talking about Halloween.
I know, can't wait.
We might be in costume. I think we haven't totally decided yet.
Well, I'm gonna be in costume. It does not
And if
matter.
we have, okay, so now that means I have to figure out what I'm going to be. So I got to look into that. But
It's gonna be
we will
great.
see you guys in. Are you going to be what I think you're going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be great.
That's gonna be great.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Have a great day. We'll see you in a couple weeks.